want to offer my sincere condolences to the family, friends, and loved ones of Samantha Woll. She is beloved. Everyone I have talked to has spoken about her contribution to our community, and she will be sorely missed.
Authorities in Detroit may be close to naming a suspect in the murder of synagogue leader Samantha Woll, the woman found with multiple stab wounds near her home after leaving a wedding. Rabbi Asher Lopatin is here to discuss the latest development in the case as rumors swirl about a motive. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Police in Detroit say that they've identified what they call people of interest in the Samantha Woll homicide case. Woll, the president of Isaac Agree downtown Detroit Synagogue since 2022, was found dead outside of her townhome in Detroit's Lafayette Park neighborhood early Saturday morning. This happened after attending a wedding Friday night. But we want to go to the facts of the case and see what might have happened here. So the Detroit police chief, James White, says that 40-year-old Samantha Woll was likely stabbed inside of her home, then stumbled outside and fell after her body was discovered on Saturday, October 21st.
An examination of the victim led to the discovery of multiple stab wounds on her body. What we know right now is that the victim, Ms. Woll, was at an event Friday evening. She left the event at 12:30 a.m. By all accounts, she was not in any discomfort, any distress. She was her normal, positive and pleasant self, as described by some people that we have interviewed. There was no signs of forced entry. Again, there was no signs of forced entry at her residence. We believe that there are no other groups or anyone else at risk in regards to this particular incident.
Now, interestingly, there was no forced entry, which always makes you wonder if someone had access to her home. Authorities believe that she was killed sometime between 12:30 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. Chief White hasn't said if Woll left the wedding alone, but all accounts were at the wedding she was happy. She didn't seem to be in distress. She wasn't acting differently. Also, police are gathering surveillance footage from Woll's neighborhood and along the route that she took from the wedding. Now, of course, with the recent developments in Israel and Gaza, there was immediate concern that this could have been a hate crime, but the police say that is not the motive that they're pursuing at this time.
We believe that this incident was not motivated by anti-Semitism and that this suspect acted alone. Again, that is what we know at this time. There are several factors that has led us to this conclusion. We are not in a position to discuss all of them at this point.
They also told the public that law enforcement doesn't believe that there are other groups or people at risk. Michigan State Police and the FBI are helping Detroit police with the investigation. And while there haven't been any arrests at the time of this recording, Chief White has said, quote, "We have a number of people that give us interest. We are just short of calling one of the people a suspect, but we are working to that end. We are confident that we're going to develop a suspect. We're not there right now as of this press conference." The chief says that while he knows people in the community want answers, the investigation needs to run its course.
There are some very intricate details about this case that, if revealed, could really damage what we're trying to accomplish. There are some facts that are known only to our suspect.
With that in mind, I want to bring in right now Rabbi Asher Lopatin, Executive Director of the Jewish Community Relations Council in partnership with the American Jewish Committee, which represents the Detroit Jewish community. Rabbi, thank you so much for taking the time and coming here on Sidebar. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much. I'm sorry it's for such a sad occasion, but I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, how is the community reacting after this?
Well, I've used this word devastated so many times, and they really are. At first, it was shock. I mean, this is such a beloved person by so many in the community, and honestly, so many layers of the community, the Jewish community, every different denomination, and then the non-Jewish community also, the interfaith community, the Hindu community, Muslim community. So many, and the city community, really. She was a big believer in the city of Detroit. So we're just so sad. I was at the Shiva, the traditional week of mourning, yesterday. That was after her 1,000-person funeral. But the Shiva last night had hundreds of people in her parents' home It was, I think the one comforting thing in this terrible, brutal end to a wonderful life is that she was such a star and such a giving, wonderful person that's a comfort for people that we were
Right.
blessed even for 40 years with her.
Okay, so we want to thank Morgan and Morgan for sponsoring this video. I think it's pretty clear from the stories that we cover that it's not always safe out there. When you're hurt, it can be pretty confusing. It can be scary. You don't know where to turn. Well, Morgan and Morgan is actually the largest injury law firm in America. And at a time when you already have so much to think about, they make it super easy for you. They've completely modernized the process because you submit your claim, you sign contracts, you upload documents, and you talk to your whole legal team all on your phone. That's it. An attorney's going to review your case in just 8 clicks. Also, they have 4,000 support staff that can help you through the process too, which is just amazing to think about. And in terms of price, you only pay them if you win. There's no upfront fee. So if you're injured, you want to join the over 3 million people that call them every year, you can submit a claim at www.forthepeople.com/law&crime or by dialing pound law, that's pound 529 on your phone. Wall's younger sister, Monica, she said Sunday at the service, your soul was beautiful and pure. You so deeply wanted peace for this world. You fought for everyone, regardless of who they were or where they came from. You were the definition of a leader. And I'm so glad you said that. That just seems all these communities coming together in remembrance of Samantha Wall. You heard when I said that the police say that this is not a hate crime. Do you believe that?
Yes, I believe that very much. I mean, I think, look, I don't know, I'm not a detective, but I believe it also because, honestly, in Detroit, as much as there are major differences between the views of the Jewish community and the Arab American community and the Muslim community on the Middle East, in general, our communities get along very well. We work together. And it's interesting that yes, it is sensitive now, even if there are protests, even in the workplace. But in general, we get along very well. So I totally take what the police say at their word, and I want to make sure that we actually continue Sam's mission of bringing all our communities together
Mhm.
and of promoting living in the city of Detroit as well.
Did you know Sam?
Yeah, well, I've been the executive director of the JCRC AJC
Yeah.
for almost 5 years, and she's been a board member for many years. First for the AJC, and then on our organization. So I've known her and worked with her. I went to the South with her on a mission, a civil rights mission with Black and Jewish leaders. She's been very active on the board,
Mhm.
and she also works behind the scenes, building relationships with and relations with Muslims, Hindus, and she's really been an inspiration for us.
Do you have any idea anybody from her life that would have do something like this to her? Any kind of beef, any kind of animosity? Because she sounded like such a lovely woman who brought so many people together. Any idea who might have done this?
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know her well enough. I wasn't close enough to talk about personal life things, except, that looked at her and she always smiled and nodded and was such a happy person and lit up the room with her sparkle. So I don't know, but I do think it's important for the Jewish community and in general everyone here in Detroit to for justice to be done.
Yeah.
So I am very eager to follow this case and to hopefully find a little bit of comfort in knowing that the perpetrator of this terrible crime will be caught and put to justice.
Yeah, if you listen to the police, it's a little reassuring. They might have people they're looking into, potentially a suspect. You talked about the community. I mentioned how law enforcement is saying that they don't believe anyone else is at risk, that the community at large is not in danger. The Jewish community, but maybe I should just say the whole community in general, are people concerned for their safety right now?
Yes, I think people are concerned. There's, with the horrible events in the Middle East and the Hamas killings, October 7th, the Jewish community is very much nervous. And I know actually that the Arab American community and the Muslim community is also nervous. So there is that sense. And I just would hope, as a rabbi and as a community leader. I just would hope that Muslims can be Muslims and Jews can be Jews, and no one's afraid, and people go to schools and synagogues,
Right.
and people are still excited about what's going on in Detroit and the growth. So I just hope we're not dragged down by fear. And the police really, I must say, have done a great job in both the city and the suburbs in really trying to reassure us and giving us a sense of that they're looking out for us.
Kind of a breath of fresh air when you talk about this kind of unity and coming together. It's always nice to hear. Your organization at this point, in the wake of Samantha Wall's death, what is your organization doing? Have you been in contact with her synagogue at all? What are next steps that you guys are doing to try to help in any way?
Yeah, actually, we were planning tonight, Wednesday night, a board meeting with the downtown synagogue, with Sam and her synagogue for our
Mm,
board and their board to have a joint meeting. Instead, we're going to sit together, our boards, and talk about Sam. It won't be a business meeting, but it'll be really remembering her and at the synagogue, at her synagogue, the downtown synagogue. And We've thought of some other initiatives, but one of the things that I want to make sure we do is to the Shiva House, which is a very personal comfort the parents and Monica, her sister, really hoping to bring the communities together and to the Shiva House and set everyone that the parents, Sam's parents, sister, and family, I want them all to see the work that she did, that it is continuing, and we'll make sure the Hindu community as well. She sees the love that the Hindu community had for her as well. And so that's what and we're going to continue doing that and think about other initiatives as well.
that's great. I mean, that's really great work that you're doing. And I'll leave everybody with this. I'm glad you had a chance to explain a little bit more about who Samantha Wall was. We're getting a sense of it. It's such a loss to her family, friends, the community. Michigan AG Dana Nessel said, quote, Samantha Wall may have been the nicest person that I have ever met or will ever meet in my lifetime. And her obituary says that she was unfailing in her commitment to living in the moment and always saw the good in everyone she met. Rabbi Asher Lopatin, thank you so much for taking the time and the work that you do, keeping Samantha's memory alive. And of course, we will continue to follow this development and hopefully police resolve this issue and catch the suspect soon.
Well, thank you so much. It's really a comfort to be on your show. Thank you so much.
Take care. Thank you. All right, everybody, that's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar. Thank you so much for joining us. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Jesse Weber. Speak to you next time.